Since the beginning of civilization, humans have looked up to the sky, in fear, in awe, and in search of meaning. From distant thunder to the rising sun, we saw patterns in nature and turned them into gods. Gods weren't just divine. They were reflections of our hopes, our fears, and our understanding of the world. But among the thousands of gods ever imagined, only a few stood out. Gods who shaped entire civilizations, redefined human values, and still echo in our stories today. In this video, we'll explore the most influential gods across history. Not based on religion, but on the impact they left on human consciousness. Ra, the sun god of Egypt. Ra was not just a god, he was the sun. In the ancient Egyptian worldview, Ra rose every morning from the eastern horizon in his solar bark, bringing light to the world. As the day passed, he sailed across the sky, watching over all of creation. But when night fell, Ra entered the underworld, the Duat, where he faced Apophis, the monstrous serpent of chaos. Each night, their battle determined the fate of the world. If Ra failed, the sun would not rise, and chaos would swallow everything. But he triumphed, again and again. Every dawn was a sign that Ra had won, restoring balance and keeping the world alive. Ra was also the first divine king. Pharaohs claimed they were descended from him, ruling Egypt with his authority. To govern was not just political, it was sacred. Temples were aligned with the sun, obelisks were raised in his name, and pyramids were built as stairways to his light. Over time, Ra's identity merged with other gods, most notably Amun, becoming Amun-Ra, the king of gods. His influence extended beyond religion, shaping Egyptian politics, architecture, and even timekeeping. Ra represents more than sunlight. He stands for victory over chaos, for resilience in darkness, and for the idea that every new beginning is earned. In every sunrise, the myth of Ra still shines. Zeus, king of the Olympian gods. Thunder roars. The sky splits open. In Greek mythology, that meant one thing: Zeus was speaking. Zeus was the king of the gods, the ruler of Mount Olympus, and the wielder of thunderbolts. But he wasn't always king. He rose to power after defeating the Titans, an older generation of gods led by his father, Cronus. Zeus freed his siblings, Hades, Poseidon, Hera, and together they created a new divine order. Zeus became the enforcer of justice, protector of oaths, and punisher of hubris, the arrogance of mortals and gods alike. His presence loomed, large. Every storm, every flash of lightning. People believed Zeus was watching, judging, deciding. Temples were built across Greece in his honor, with Olympia being his most sacred site, home of the Olympic Games. Zeus was not a god of peace, but of balance. He represented power with purpose, authority with responsibility. He had flaws: arrogance, impulsiveness, pride. But even in his imperfections, Zeus reflected the truth about leadership, that ruling is never simple. In Zeus, we see both the storm and the sky that clears after it. Shiva, the destroyer and recreator. In Hinduism, creation is not a one-time event. It is a cycle: birth, death, and rebirth. And at the heart of that cycle is Shiva. Shiva is known as the destroyer, but this title is often misunderstood. He does not destroy out of rage. He destroys to make room for rebirth. In his dance, the Tandava, Shiva performs the rhythm of the universe: creation, preservation, and dissolution. His appearance is paradoxical. He wears ashes, symbolizing death, but also the crescent moon, a sign of time and renewal. He sits in meditation, yet unleashes storms. He is peaceful and fierce, still and cosmic. Shiva lives on Mount Kailash, far from human civilization, reminding us that truth often lies beyond society's noise. Devotees worship Shiva not to avoid destruction, but to embrace transformation. To let go of ego, illusion, and fear. He teaches that from destruction comes purification, and from silence, clarity. Shiva is not just a god, he is a mirror. He forces us to face what must end, so that something new may begin. Odin is not a god of thunder or fire. He is a god of knowledge, sacrifice, and destiny. Known as the Allfather in Norse mythology, Odin ruled Asgard not with brute strength, but with wisdom earned through pain. He sacrificed one of his eyes at the Well of Mimir to gain the knowledge of the cosmos. He hung himself from Yggdrasil, the World Tree, for 9 days and nights, a symbolic death to discover the runes, the language of magic and fate. Odin is a wanderer, always searching, never resting. He disguises himself, walks among mortals, and listens more than he speaks. He is accompanied by 2 ravens, Hugin, thought, and Munin, memory, who fly across the world to bring him knowledge. Odin doesn't offer comfort. He offers truth, often cold, harsh, but necessary. He prepares for Ragnarok, the end of the world, not to stop it, but to meet it with honor. Odin teaches us that true wisdom requires loss, that to see clearly, we must be willing to give something up. In Odin, we see the burden of knowing, and the quiet courage it takes to carry it. In Japanese mythology, the sun is not ruled by a god, but by a goddess, Amaterasu. She is the most revered deity in Shinto, the indigenous religion of Japan, and is considered the ancestor of the Japanese imperial family. Her name means she, who illuminates the heavens, and that's exactly what she does. Amaterasu's most famous story is one of retreat and return. After a conflict with her brother Susanoo, she hid herself in a cave, plunging the world into darkness. The gods panicked, crops withered, chaos spread. So the other gods created a plan, a mirror, laughter, and dance to lure her out again. When Amaterasu finally emerged, the world was reborn in light. That myth isn't just a story, it's a message. That even the brightest among us can withdraw, and it is through joy, reflection, and community that we heal. Amaterasu's influence is everywhere in Japan, from the national flag's red sun to the sacred mirror housed in the ice grand shrine. She represents dignity, renewal, and the quiet strength of feminine divinity. In Amaterasu, we see that light is not loud, it simply shines. In a world once filled with many gods, one voice declared, "I am the only one." That voice was Yahweh. Yahweh is the central figure in Judaism, and later became the foundational god of Christianity and Islam. Unlike other gods who ruled mountains or rivers, Yahweh claimed the universe. He existed beyond form, invisible, eternal, and absolute. Yahweh made covenants, not just commands. He formed relationships with humanity, with Abraham, Moses, and generations after. He was a God, of justice, but also of mercy, punishing sin, yet offering forgiveness. Yahweh's laws shaped entire societies. Ideas like all humans are created equal and one day of rest trace back to his commandments. Over centuries, Yahweh transformed how humans saw morality, time, and purpose. His influence is not just spiritual, it is political, cultural, and personal. From sacred texts to legal systems, Yahweh's presence endures. Long before the rise of Rome, Egypt, or even Israel, a prophet in ancient Persia spoke of one supreme god, Ahura Mazda. In the religion of Zoroastrianism, Ahura Mazda is the uncreated creator, the source of all light, wisdom, and truth. Has no image, no form. He is pure consciousness, all-knowing, all-seeing, eternal. Ahura Mazda is locked in a cosmic battle with Angra Mainyu, the spirit of chaos, lies, and destruction. But unlike many mythologies, this battle is not fought with weapons. It is fought through choice. Every human, through thought, word, and action, contributes to the victory of light or the rise of darkness. Zoroaster taught that humans are not helpless. They are sacred, responsible, and capable of choosing good. This idea influenced Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, from angels and demons to Judgment Day and moral free will. Temples of fire were lit to symbolize inner purity, not sacrifice, but illumination. In Ahura Mazda, we see that the greatest power is not control, but truth, and the greatest war is not outside, but within. From sun gods to divine kings, From destroyers to protectors, these gods shaped not only civilizations, but the human spirit itself. Ra, Zeus, Shiva, Odin, Amaterasu, Yahweh, Ahura Mazda. Each of them still lives in myths, in morals, in memory. These gods are not just legends, they are mirrors of how we see the world and of how we see ourselves. Which one lives in you?